fucking bougie, and I can't wait to do
It's
this.
nice
Dude,
with
I
it
gotta
on.
move this.
I can't wait to do this sugar-free lemonade fucking 8
Oh, yeah,
miles.
yeah.
So guess what?
Let's do it now,
Fellas,
boys.
Lemonade again.
Wheels up.
Wheels up.
Everybody strap in.
It's nice taking a regular shot, not a Drewski
What do you mean?
triple.
Yeah, to
like that
separate
triple?
yourself
Dude, did
from
you
him.
see what happened on the
oh,
one?
dude, I did.
I almost
This
threw
couch
up
is
everywhere,
dangerous.
honestly.
Was that 90s episode?
Yeah.
Yes, it
One
was
of
the
our
last
best
one.
episodes. You're welcome.
I
got a
almost
great
didn't
point.
finish it.
I just feel like the
Well,
wrong
I didn't finish the
episode.
episode?
Yeah.
Dude,
I almost left right away.
That's what he
like
said. He
this
poured
couch.
like 3 in your cup, dude, when you weren't looking.
I just kept pouring them in there.
Dude,
like,
it was-
Andrew
Bad.
Diddy.
And then-
Damn, dude.
Motherfucking snake.
Cut it.
No, we don't cut shit around here, man. This is a Land Your Plane podcast, dog. We
I'm just
fucking
kidding.
keep
I
it
love it.
rolling.
No,
keep it rolling.
we're not friends, clearly.
he has
we're
done
done?
that to me before, too, though, on some other shit.
Yep.
You know, people are more fun when they don't know they're having fun. That's just a fact.
That's why I can't fuck with his shroom cocktails.
Yeah, that's what he got me on.
It's called microdosing, and most people love it. Have you not liked the microdose?
You gotta see his setup,
People
too.
who have done it love it.
It's a whole like deal.
It's the
a whole
I
operation.
imagine.
fucking hoodest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You would if you took them because you imagine all sorts of shit. I remember actually at the. Never mind. What are we doing here? What podcast is this?
Well,
Magic the Gathering?
Listen, we have
Forget
something
sometimes where
special
we're at.
today. We have our first guest on the pod. We finally have a guest. We have our first guest. Without further ado, Derek Kaiser. Actually, not only is our first guest, but he's our #1 sponsor. He's the one that brought you guys the studio, Adjusted Health Chiropractic. Can we get a mouth?
I'm not doing
You're not doing it?
So now you're not
I was
using
gonna
your mouth.
miserably fail at
You've been
that.
using your mouth all morning, and all of a sudden now you don't
Oh,
want to use
dude,
your
podcast
mouth.
started. You're
You
still
know what I
okay.
mean? So,
Happy
Derek,
to be here. Happy to be here, man.
Welcome,
Yep.
Derek.
Hey, happy to be here, guys.
Thank you for coming here to your
got it.
studio that
Yeah.
you put together for us, that you sponsored for
Hey,
us, that
this
you
is-
put up the moolah.
You guys are doing good things, man. I'm happy to be a part of it. I know
No,
me
let's
and
not give him
Casey
too much
are.
credit. We definitely put up the border. Us
Yeah.
three did put up the border around the walls. You know, that's a hard work, and we
Hey, this-
accomplished it in the same amount of time it took you to do the entire carpet.
The space was here. You guys are the creative geniuses. So keep up the good work. You guys are doing awesome, man. We love it.
In all
Appreciate
seriousness,
it.
Derek, like seriously
appreciate
though,
you.
yeah, we really do appreciate you for
Thank you to
just
Casey
believing
as
in
well.
us. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes.
Casey as well.
Shout out.
Yep.
Everybody at Adjusted Health Chiropractic. You guys believed in us when we first started, and you guys said, hey,
Yep.
I want to get behind this train and get behind this plane.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You behind this plane?
Oh no.
Get behind the plane.
Okay, all right.
We want to be passengers on the plane, baby. Hey, we want first
Let's
class.
go.
Yep. We're filling the plane. Yep.
First class and free drinks.
You know it. Yep.
Yours was free.
Yep.
You
Shout
sponsor
out.
our studio.
Yep. Shout out 8 Mile. Love it.
Derek, let's just get into it, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the people, the viewership, the listenership, who Derek Kaiser is.
Yeah. So born and raised in Monroe, man. Went to Monroe High School. Yeah, you know it. Yep, love it. Monroe High School, graduated from there, went to Siena Heights, played baseball, went to college, got a biology degree, decided I wanted to do something. My mom, background from her, man, she's an awesome woman, single parent, worked 2 jobs. She was a nurse practitioner. So knew I wanted to do something in healthcare, wanted to do something helping people. So got a biology degree, like I said, from Siena. And then moved down to Georgia, decided to go to chiropractic school. So one of my best friends, I was actually, from time I was probably 12, best friends with my buddy Greg. Shout out Greg, IWR fan, right?
Greg
Yeah,
DePew.
Yeah. His sister, her and I like connected a little bit after I went down to chiropractic school, and ended up starting dating, and she moved down to Georgia with me, and it was probably 6 months after I started school down there. She moved down there. She was probably one of my rocks, man, for sure. Her and my
Wait,
mom.
Was she going to school in Georgia, or she just moved down there just to be with you?
Yeah, no. She was a nurse's aide at the time. She was working at a nursing home here in Monroe, taking care of people, and then decided I came home to visit, and we were hanging out for a little bit, and she decided to move down to Georgia with me, and we had our daughter down there, Hannah. So she's 9 now. She just turned 9 March 19th.
Was one of your guys' first dates one of Wade's fights?
Yeah. So we actually that not one of our first dates. That's actually when we kind of reconnected.
Oh, shit.
So I was
All right.
best friends with Greg from when I was like 12 years old. And
Similar stories.
yeah,
to you.
maybe 14.
Michelangelo?
Yeah, it was like our freshman year of high school. It was like 14 years old. Him and I played ball together. And then she was always at our baseball games and stuff. Never thought anything of it like that. And then when I came home, it was around Christmas time, I think it was, and we were at Wade's Fights, and I saw Ashley, and I went over and grabbed her hand, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna hang out." And sure enough, man, like
Lord, that's nice.
it might have been a little 8 Mile induced at the time, not 8 Mile then, but I messaged Greg, and he was cool with it. So she moved down to Georgia with me, and like I said, she was my rock, man. I was in school like 36 credit hours every 10 weeks.
Jesus
for chiropractic
Christ.
school. So it was like Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to like 5 p.m. And I was bartending on the weekends there. So I was working at a bar, and she was working at a nursing home, and then found out we were pregnant, you know? So
Down in Georgia. Wait, so your daughter was born
in Georgia? Yeah, Northside Hospital in Atlanta. Yep.
Your daughter's an AT alien?
She's an AT alien. Yep.
Man, bombs over a bag.
Yep.
Then. That's what's up,
Hey,
bro.
she acts like it too, man. She will tell me what's up. And we try to rein it in a little bit.
Ain't
but
nothing wrong with that, man.
No.
They're our daughters. You know how that
yeah,
goes.
you know, man.
Yeah,
You got 2 of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So
they run the show.
So were you like Mike and you were just hanging out with Greg just to get to his sister? Is that
No.
happened? You wanna shout out?
Hey, hey, I think you guys shouted him out one time, but Jeff Ball was our baseball coach, and dude, he was
Shout out, Jeff.
Yeah, he was a different character. He would. I remember my mom telling Jeff like, do what you got to do with him, you know, and the look in Jeff's eye. He used to grab the fence. When I'd be watching like the hitter up at bat and stuff, and Jeff would grab the fence and just slam me into it like I was a wrestler, and he'd be like, "Hey, there you go," you know, and I'm like, "Hey, Jeff," but
How you doing?
hey, he's an awesome dude. But yeah, so fast forward, we're down in Georgia, and we ended up having Hannah down there, and you know, chiropractic school is about 4.5, 5 years with the internship after 4 years of undergrad, and then we wanted to move home, man. Family's from Monroe, so I knew that's where we wanted to set up. And I met Casey, you know, shout out to Casey. He's awesome. He's business partner. He's, you know, with me ride or die and all this stuff. And I met him in chiropractic school. He's from Madison, Wisconsin. So him and I hooked up from chiropractic school and decided to open an office here. So
The best office.
Now, he's from Madison, Wisconsin. I know you're a Packers fan. Is he a Packers fan?
Yeah, diehard.
Is that what got you guys connected, or was it your guys' passion for drinking?
No. Hey, it was so actually Casey went to Central Michigan. So he's a Chippewa.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Casey was. So he played lacrosse at Central Michigan. And Casey's an athlete
crazy.
too.
Dog,
Hey, great
that's
softball player too. He pitches and he smokes home runs. But yes, we met at chiropractic school. I remember like one of the first days we were kind of saying where we're from and stuff. And you know, everybody stood up and I'm from Michigan. And one of the things that got me was everyone was like a second or a third generation chiropractor, you know, like my dad or my mom or my grandpa was a chiropractor. And Casey wasn't. His dad's a neurologist, I believe. And great dude, worked at I think UW, University of Wisconsin, and my mom's a nurse practitioner, so we both came kind of from the medical field, and that's one thing I remember about him. And then we were both wearing Packer gear that day when we had to stand up, and I think it was biochemistry class was one of the toughest of the first year, but we just got hooked up on that, and my mom was, you know, we had friends and family in Wisconsin growing up, and I remember 1996 or 1997, she came home with a cheesehead and a Brett Favre jersey for me, and that
Sold
year
it.
they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I was like, "Let's go, baby!"
You know, I was this whole
Let's
time like
go.
you mentioned your mom, and I'm like the biggest like I've never even met your mom, but I'm a big fan of hers. Like the NP shit, just because my girl's one semester away. She's been a nurse for a long time, but she's one semester away from being a NP nurse practitioner. I know how huge that is.
Yep.
Until that part of the story where she brought you a cheesehead and a pack. Like
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
You're
Yeah.
a Ravens
I mean,
fan?
she was right
You said
there.
right, you're a Ravens fan, correct?
come on, man, you already know. You
Yep.
already know.
Hey.
Flock La Familia.
They were so good this year in the playoffs.
Flock La Familia, Drewski.
Hey, we got some good teams though. Hey, we got some shit to root for this year. But yeah, for sure. My mom, I mean, like I said, single parent. Like she raised my sister. My sister's 3 years older than I am, and
Is she in the medical field?
she was into banking and stuff like that. She like early on in life, she knew she wanted a family. Her and her husband, awesome people, man. They have identical twin boys who just turned, I believe, 19. on the
wow.
22nd. And my sister's only 30. Love you, Ashley, but 39, 38.
Oh, so she had it when she
Yeah.
was
How
20.
you looking at me? I don't know.
Okay. I was thinking,
hoping you were gonna help me a little bit.
I'm doing quick math in my head, and I'm like, man, that's
she's 3 years older than I
okay,
am, so I'm
all
gonna be
right.
35. So she's gonna be 38. So yeah, she's awesome, man. Great mother, and she has a beautiful daughter who's gonna be. Once again, I'm gonna butcher that, but she's getting ready to go into high school. Olivia, awesome volleyball player. Shout out. But yeah, so my mom. I mean, it was just we had everything we needed. And she made us work for what we wanted, you know, and that's
That's dope right there.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
it's
key right there.
yeah,
man.
that was she did the job of two parents. Like I never felt like I needed anything or like I was missing anything. She rocked it out. Yeah. So
Question for you. So, what's the toughest part about owning your own business? And you can answer too, Mikey. Like, what
Oh.
do you guys think the toughest part is? You know, is it getting your name out there, getting a client? Like, what's the toughest part? You go first, Mikey.
No, it's all you, brother.
You go
I'll
first.
take it first, and I want to hear your. It's different industries, so I'd love to hear what you have to say. But for me personally, it wasn't getting my name out there. I don't think because like I'm blessed to know so many people in the area, and that's why I love Monroe, man. That's why we opened here. That's why like
Moved back
there were a lot of like chiropractors in the area, and there's a lot of people like. You know, there was already a lot of like healthcare providers here, but we wanted to be here because this is like where I was from, and this is where Ashley's from, and this is like where our families were from. So like the connection with people like that we were blessed. That kind of came easy. But I will say it was especially with chiropractic more than anything. I think it was there's stigmas out there. People think certain things
yeah.
about it, so it was kind of getting over that stigma. But then also I'm
Like what? Like elaborate.
Yeah. So I think
A
it's
stigma, for example.
yeah. No, so I think a lot of people think chiropractic's like anti-medicine, you know, and that's where I almost love working with Casey because he's very like-minded as I am. We're like, hey, there's a time and a place for that stuff, and like we're not anti-medicine by any means, but we understand that the body's made to heal itself and the body's made to be healthy. So we just want to like facilitate that. We want to help the body like heal itself, and then if we need like drugs or surgery or things like that, like medications, there's time for that, you know. But like, let the thing do what it's supposed to do naturally first, if we can, you know. I mean, like, healing comes from above down, inside out, and what I mean by that is like from the brain, spinal cord, like inside out. We don't need to pump the body full of stuff unnecessarily, prematurely. Like, trust me, if I had diabetes or something like that, and I was type 1, I want insulin. But if I'm type 2, maybe I should change diet, exercise, things like that, and then my body would be a little bit healthy. So we just want to encourage patients to like, hey, you're in charge of a lot of your health. There's genetics that play a role, but that's not the only driver, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of where our families
Beating
and all
that-
that like
beating
come
that
from.
stigma,
Yeah. It's like, hey, like a lot in healthcare is, I don't want to say dehumanized, but it's like, you might be like, hey, your results are on your my chart, you know? And I'm like, no, I want to sit down and talk to you about your results.
Thank you.
You know, and
I hate the My Chart system, dude. I hate it.
It's great for like doctors like interacting, you know what I mean? If you're like, you know, in like a whole hub, you know, whether it be a university or like a whole like company, it's nice to have all the doctors to be able to access your my chart and this is where
Well, you
you
can
know.
also get help on stuff you don't understand.
But yeah,
yourself.
like
you have the
it
same
also
as-
kind of
yeah.
passes it off sometimes. So
Yeah.
like we love doing it at our office where we X-ray and we like go over the X-rays and stuff, and we like talk to you about those things and we discuss like what your options are. So yeah,
I feel like when a doctor like says, well, you can just check it on My Chart. Like, I'm in the middle right now of changing what's it called, your family
Pediatrician?
doctor.
like your
No, my
primary care,
pediatrician's
like a
great.
primary
Yeah,
care,
a primary care doctor.
Yeah.
Right, I'm in the middle of switching because like I really can't stand when a doctor just comes in, looks at your thing, all right, asks you 2 questions, and then he's out, and it's like, no, I mean, I want a relationship with my doctor.
Yeah.
Like, don't
for sure.
hit me with the nurse.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to see the doctor. You're charging me to see the doctor.
Right.
I want to talk to my doctor. You know what
Yep.
I mean? I feel like there's a lot of that like business
Yeah.
kind of motto. You know what I mean? Where it's too much of a business now and less about care in general. I'm not saying everybody's
Right.
like that, but I'm just saying that that's my stigma for what I've dealt with is like,
Yeah, and
You know?
I don't like to paint with a broad brush, but I agree. It's like people over profit is, I think, what we talk about a lot, right? It's like if you put the person first, and I imagine every patient in front of me is like my mom, and I'm sure Casey does this too. Casey's like, he's an introvert, but he's also like a really good dude. And we see every patient in front of us as like a friend or a family member. And like when you approach it that way, I mean, we're high volume. We'll see 100 patients in a day, like, and we're in and out if we need to be. But also, if somebody has an issue, it's like pump the brakes, you know, and then we slow down. We're in front of the patient. We think about what we need to do. We talk to them, and we're big on, you know, your body best, right? I mean, everybody in this room, like, nobody knows your body better than you do. So we listen. We take the time to talk to you, and I think that's a little bit what's missing from healthcare. Not just medical field, dentist, chiropractic, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you don't stop and listen to the patient, like, we all fall into it a little bit, you know. But we tell our patients, call us on it. If we're breezing over something, pump the brakes, give us a stop sign, and tell us, you know, slow down.
But I think some of your like high volume is like your patients that you guys have that relationship to where you know what they're coming in for, and they're just like, Derek, need a quick adjustment on the way to work, and you quick in and out. You know what I mean? Not everyone needs 20, 30 minutes. Like some guys, my dad, it's funny because he's like, he felt bad because Casey adjusts him. Mm-hmm. You weren't here that first day he came, whatever it was. I'm like, it's probably good because Casey is a little bit more of an introvert. So my dad's a talker. I'm like, so if you were with Derek, like, you'd be in Derek's room for way too long and he's busy. Like, so I mean, it works out well. But I mean, it's just like, I think you guys take the time with when you know it needs to be. And then some patients like, I got to go, but I need this done real quick. So you guys are like, all right, boom.
Yep. And and I think, yeah, great point, because we have a lot of patients who see both of us, and then we have some who have a preference, you know. And the best way I liken to it is like, you go to a restaurant, right? You don't want an empty restaurant. You go into a steakhouse and there's nobody there. You're kind of questioning, like, hey, man, like, why aren't there any cars here? Yeah, like, what's going on with it, you know? So, I mean, when people see our office full, I tell them, I'm like, hey, that's a good sign. And also, if I'm in the room with somebody for, 15, 20 minutes and they expected to be in and out, there's probably a reason, and most of our patients know, like, hey, he's taking the time to, be with me. There's a reason. And same with Casey. Casey's very understanding about things, and he asked, dude's 1,000 times smarter than I am. And I remember, like, being in class with him and being like, hey, we're gonna study together. Like, I felt like one of those small fish, like, underneath a shark, like linking to him. Hey, that dude is brilliant. Did
you ever cheat off his test? Hey,
I can't confirm or deny that.
Man, you already got your degree. You already got your degree. They can't take it back from you.
No, let's just say he was a friend. And, hey,
a good friend who sat close.
We're here. Yeah, I sat behind him, and we had stadium seating.
That's great.
So
he's just making sure from overhead he was doing it right.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. Me and Mikey's relationship, because Mikey is always like the person that puts people in the room. Like, he's like, I always used to refer to myself as, I'd rather be a Clarence Avon. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he just put people together. It wasn't like he was the producer or he was the exec or he was the talent. Like, he's the one that put the right people at the right time in the right room. And I always felt like I had a little bit of that. And then I'm, really started fucking with Mikey, and Mikey's like really honed in on that, and Mikey has put me in room, and I think all of us in this room together at some point.
Podcast alone. This podcast is Mikey's relationships.
And so with that being said, like, just Derek, tell me how you know these guys from your perspective, because they have already explained we've talked about you before in the pod, but from your perspective of how kind of this all kind of came about.
Okay, gotcha.
As far as friendships and relationships.
Our friendship story's hilarious.
I was just going to say, I looked right at you.
or Drewski, if you want to jump in there.
I want to see how he tells it.
That's why I said from his perspective.
I almost want to hear Drewski's perspective first.
I'll let you go. I'll tell you wrong, right? I'll buzz you.
All right, so I will.
This is hilarious.
I'll give my interpretation of how we first met, and then how that led to where we're at. And I mean, I hope it sheds a little bit of light on like how people grow, but
Yep, you're already
Yeah.
the right story. 100%.
so we had different groups of friends at the time, I believe. And I think we have the same, knowing you now, I think we have the same type of personality where we're both like ride or die, right?
100%.
And I get that from all you guys, and that's why like I'm gravitated towards you guys. But we had, it was high school, I believe, maybe.
Just after first year of high
Yeah,
school.
yeah. It was probably when I was graduating high school, which was 2007, maybe 2008.
So
I
I'll
was
give you how this whole thing started too, before he tells his part of the story.
Yeah. Let me.
Like,
You prep it. You probably know better than I do.
So I'm with my cousin, who's no longer with us, but he knows everybody. He's like Mikey, everybody's best friend. Everybody talks to him, loved him right away. Like, he just can make you laugh. So we're downstairs at his house party, and we're
Not
playing.
mine. Not mine.
You're right.
I didn't own
You're
a
in
house.
college.
Yeah.
You were just in college stopping by.
Yep.
I was in my other friend's house. Gary, Owen, shout out, Larry. We're downstairs, and he always used to big dog me, right? Well, I was 18 now, or 19, and I'm like, you ain't gonna big dog me. So
Who,
I said,
Derek?
no, my cousin Jake.
Oh, your cousin.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
So I was like, I got an extra beer pong, and I called it clearly. I stand on that. And he's like, so I'm up. Me and I forget who it was. Like, Larry, we're up. And I was like, you ain't gonna big dog me. I'ma go. It's my turn to play a beer pong. And he's like, shut your mouth. I said it. Me and Larry on the table. I said, get off the table. Little cuz is playing. And then, pow, I get swiped. Right? Just
Wait,
hit.
what's swiped?
Well, I got punched in the face, right? Instantly. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, my cousin, who I was just arguing with, is fighting that guy. But now all hell's broke loose. I'm there with a professional boxer who's telling Wade, shout out Wade, who's telling people, I got a fight coming up. You motherfuckers are lucky I won't hit you, right? This is him standing against a wall, cocked and loaded, but not doing a damn thing. I'm fighting an entire party at this point. Jake's like, sorry, I shouldn't hit you. We're cool. They're still not cool with me. Nobody at this party's cool with me. They're like, fuck this little guy. He's done for. So I got my ass beat. I got kicked upstairs. Like, I don't know if you've ever been kicked upstairs.
That's true. Hey, he's not lying. He's not lying.
Wait a minute, hold on. Time out. I've never heard somebody. I've heard somebody of.
That's
You know how
a
you
wild
say
story.
you fell up the stairs because you rode the stairs too fast and you fall?
Nah, he got
How do
his ass
you
kicked
get-
up.
How do you get beat up?
Hey, it led
up the
outside.
stairs?
This story's
Okay,
wild.
Sorry.
I'm wearing all
okay,
white
I'll
too,
let you
which
get
already
back
pisses me off because I have footprints on my white hat, on my sweater. Like, I don't even know who's hitting me. I just know everybody's hitting me. So they get outside and then everybody kind of stops, right? For whatever reason, they all settle down. Now I'm outside of the house. They've literally kicked me upstairs, out of the house. They've literally kicked me out. Like, I got jumped outside. Everybody's outside. Apparently, it was cold out that night. Everybody calmed down. So then I see Jake crying, right? My cousin crying, and my tall 6'8" friend, who's they're supposed to be helping me. Nobody else has gotten hit in this whole story. They're crying. They're drunk. Like, Jake. And he's going, Ryan. And they're crying, look for it. And I'm like, fuck both of you. I'm wearing all white and I'm covered in footprints. I look like I got marched on, right? Needless to say, this is his friend's party. So I always associated him, even though he might not have kicked me in the head, he might have.
I was not. I was not involved in the kicking your ass upstairs.
So this is all true though, right? So
It is.
you still kept going over there for parties. Wasn't very like
Those were my boys.
right.
Yeah.
So he always ride with them. He did not like me. So one night I got jumped in at another party. It just happens to me. I have one of those faces. Like, I go to a party, try to shake this guy's
You
hand.
do have a punchable face.
Dude,
back
so-
when-
Dude,
I get it.
Hey, same.
Dude,
That
so-
happened to me in Atlanta. We'll talk about that another
Okay.
time, but yes.
Yes.
I have just a very punchable face.
So I go to shake this kid's hand. To tell you this, I got jumped 3 times in the same night by the same group of people. This is a fact. Every time
Why
I
are you
got
pointing at Derek?
because he knows it's
Dude,
true.
did
It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Did he adjust
But
your
he
attitude?
absolutely
Like,
knows it
what's
was
going
true.
on here?
So every time somebody else would come, like, this house was wild. Like, people who didn't like these people came there just to crash their parties. So every time a new group came in, I got brave. I'm like, fuck them. Time's up, right? Time's up. I was like, I'm gonna get some get back. Well, as soon as I thought, like, now I got the numbers, there'd be 12 more guys there just beating people's asses. Like, there's a couple of dudes who suplex people real time in a fight, body slammed them, put their fucking foot on them and flexed. Like, these people.
So no, I think.
So where does Derek come into this?
Yeah,
Was
so
Derek
no,
beating
no,
people
no,
up?
no,
because
no. So I think
I'll tell you
I
what.
think
Hold on, wait a minute,
I think
'cause
you're
I-
blending too many stories together.
I'm just saying, one night I got jumped 3 times. So these guys did not like me, right? One night,
Yeah,
jumped
I
3
was
times
going
by
to
these
say.
guys.
So is it?
No,
it's his friends, but like,
Okay.
so he always associated me with trouble, piece of shit. This guy's just going to get into fights.
I didn't associate you with it as that, dude.
You tell from your perspective, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. See, that's what I love. Like, there's like 3 sides to every story. So his side was that.
That's why I originally said from your perspective.
Yes. So from my perspective, I was in college. I was in Adrian. I was playing ball, doing this, and I could only come home for like weekends. So I'd come home, and my buddies Gary and Larry had a house and stuff. So I'd come hang out there, and they'd throw parties.
First of all, I would love to go to a party of Gary and Larry's.
Oh, so,
But go ahead.
the
Sorry,
best.
I had to
The
throw
best
that in
is
there.
their brothers,
Yeah.
and their names are Gary and Larry.
That just sounds like a good time.
Nan, I love you, but damn it, Gary and Larry.
Nan is the best.
Yeah, like hey,
Boys, that's what she said to call her boys.
Gary
boys,
Lynn.
get in here.
Hey, and his middle name is Lynn too. Gary Lynn. Like
he looks like he'd be.
you're setting him up to get beat up, you know. But he was doing.
Maybe
some
that's
of
why it's so tough now.
He was doing some of the beating up. Yeah, like,
He had to be.
Yeah, she was like, "You're gonna be able to fight, dude." So they had the house, and we had parties there all the fucking time, man.
every
And
weekend.
I remember, from my perspective, that we were down in the basement, and Wade was running his mouth because Wade was a good fighter, man.
Yeah.
Like Wade knew what he was
6'1",
doing.
knocked
Yeah,
out.
But he was a good shit talker too.
yeah, and he had his little crew that he ran around with, and it happened to be with Andy. And Andy's a good shit talker too. So we had our crew, and they showed up at our party, and we were at our house.
See, now he's saying our house. See,
Yeah.
I caught him.
Hey, but
Okay,
no, but
Drewski,
no,
you got
hey,
one, I
but
got you,
hey,
you
but
got one.
I wasn't like that. I wasn't. And hey, shit started popping off, and
I got handled. You can say it. 6 or 7 people.
I think Wade got through a wall.
Yes, but he had a
And
fight coming up. So
hey,
shout out to Wade. He did not hit nobody.
I don't want to like name this dude because he's awesome, and I know like,
Yes.
but KG
Yeah.
absolutely obliterated him through a wall. Like I'm talking like superhero shit, like through
That's
a wall.
the guy, yeah.
Yes.
He's the one who started the whole thing. He hit me first.
And then
Wild mother.
And then another one of my buddies from high school stood over the top of guy you're talking.
Yeah.
And like
These guys were
like
wild.
a wrestler, foot on his chest, flexing over top of him. And I was like,
This wasn't
God.
picture phone days, so he's doing this just for his
confirming
friends.
all this, by the way.
Hey.
Just for his
Like,
friends, he did
What's
this,
that?
by the
He's
way.
confirming everything that Drewski just
It's
said.
100%
but I'm saying that I don't think I was like a culprit in this. Like I don't think I laid hands on
So you don't
anybody.
think you hit Drewski one time?
I know I didn't hit Drewski one time, but I know I hit one of Drewski's friends,
See.
and it was a very well-connected punch, and
Oh, yeah.
it was a message. And to this day, I think like we're not like friends, and like him and I aren't friends, and we're not. When we see each other, we're like,
I'm
You got to tell me afterward who it was.
I will tell you, and this is a
afterward.
fact. Like he's one of the people that like it was one of the second times we
it
were
was
down there.
one of your riders that at that time.
They showed up, and I was like, "We got 5 or 6."
But
I like my chances. I was confident in my
I
abilities.
was very calm with everybody else doing their thing because I was like, can't do this. And then when it like more or less came to my front porch, and I was like, all right.
So when did we make the switch?
So how did you guys just in the middle of a fight look at each other like stepbrothers and go,
No,
did we
so
just
no,
become
this
best
is a
friends?
crazy-
I think it was a couple years later, right?
It was about 2 years later. I was at a party. At this point, my cousin was gone. He was like I said, as soon as that happened, he hit the guy. Like he was always there. I still got jumped. Don't get me wrong, but he hit the first guy who hit me. Like he was always there. He's gone. I go to this house party. I get blasted. I try to shake this dude's hand, and I get punched in the face. He thought I was somebody else. Well, I was like,
I get it.
I was in
Land your
again.
plane.
Swear to God, can't make this up. Same white sweater. You remember the one with the tree? I used to wear it all the time. Element
I
sweater.
remember the day after that. Yeah,
You remember my lip?
yeah.
I started. At first, I'm like, he called me Billy, and I was like, okay. He hit me. It dropped me, but then I looked down and I was covered in blood. So I'm like, oh, you don't know what you just did. This is my favorite sweater. I've bleached this thing so many times, so many footprints. My favorite sweater. And now blood. I know it's done. I just attacked him. And all of a sudden, I'm getting put in a full Nelson. I'm gonna kill this kid. And my buddy's like, we gotta go, right? My buddy Derek Collin. He's like, but you're about to get your ass whooped. You don't even know it. And I'm like, what? I look up. This entire party's like going crazy. Like, get the fuck out. You're done. Next time we see you. They're yelling shit. And I'm like, I didn't get enough get back because my sweater's ruined, right? So I got to drive. So we're leaving this party. We leave. And I'm leaving just stewing. I'm like, fuck you guys. You didn't want to do nothing. I want to go back. And now you got to understand this is a full party. I have 3 people with me. Derek Collum is still friends with these guys. And they're at a hotel party. Just these guys. So we go to the hotel, and I know.
I wasn't there that night.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I thought I
100%.
would have
Nope.
bet my life you're on the bed.
Nope. I was in Atlanta. I promise you. I remember that at the
They called
house.
ya?
Gary called me.
So this is what's crazy is about what those guys did. They rolled out. Like I went there and was like,
Everybody
"Listen, I know
who
you
fought
don't."
him the night, like couple nights
Yeah.
before.
I was like, "I know you guys don't
Rolled
like
out.
me."
To go fight the other guys?
Yes. So I was like, "I know you guys don't like me.
Gary-
I'm going
Ga-
back regardless."
Hey,
is what I
my
said.
buddy
I'm
Gary,
going
who
back
moved down to
regardless.
Georgia, called me and he's like, "Can you get to Monroe?" I was like, "I'm 10 hours away. What do you mean can I get to Monroe?" I was like, I'm not the Hulk, dude. I was like, "What do you want me to do?" And he's like,
I can
"We're-"
be there tomorrow.
Yeah, he said we're fighting tonight, and I was like, "Good luck.
Wild.
Love you guys. Yeah, if you need a chiropractor,
like
like,
one of those,
yep.
there's one of those wild
Yeah.
stories where like people used to call to meet up, like some Munson type shit. You remember that type
Meet me
shit?
there.
Like,
Oh,
meet
yeah,
me
100%,
there. It's going
100%.
down 10 o'clock at fucking such and such.
This is how I brought it to them. I was like, "I'm going back to this house. Whether I go alone, I'm gonna get my ass beat, or you guys can come with me and maybe something happens." And still, there's only, I think we came with 12. There's still 24 people in this house, so it still got wild. But every one of them came back, and I've been friends with all of them ever since.
I got two
And-
questions.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting, you're telling me there's no girls at this party that you can
where-
focus
Ryan Collins.
that attention on.
Hey, hey.
You know what I mean? There's no girls you can focus that attention on
time out,
instead
Jeff.
of fighting
You
at
show up
all.
to fight, huh?
I got punched in the face. There was nothing else I could do. It was like, all right.
Second
Sweater
question.
ruined.
No.
I'm not gonna pick up a girl in a bloody sweater with a
Hey,
butt fuck
that
up
first
lip.
You look
question,
tough.
that first question might lead, that might like shed some light on why we're trying to get you a date for IWR. Dude.
Right.
Like, come
Right.
on.
To time out, I would love to see you, any of you, at a party somewhere, and somebody just blast you in the face. You're bleeding on your favorite sweater.
Man, I've
and Ryan Collins nowhere to be
been
found.
there,
He
done
he
that a
was
million times.
to Ryan Collins. Shout out Ryan Collins. He was over there talking to girls. So I'm fighting this. I'm like fighting this battle all by myself.
I'm still in a bloody hoodie going to try to holler at some girl.
No, I wasn't.
sure.
All I was seeing was the red and
Single,
white.
Mikey.
I mean, I would even
Hey.
even try to use the sympathy card if it was at that point. You know what I mean?
And I love
Maybe
you saying
some
this.
That should definitely
sympathy
work.
pussy, like,
I'll let him tell the story. Let's talk about Atlanta because you had a wife.
oh, hold on, wait a minute. We still haven't even landed.
How
that
you guys
fucking
got
plan.
back- how you guys got
like,
back
this
together
is
on
the
the same
perfect thing
team.
for Land Your Plane podcast
Yeah,
because
loyal dude.
none of you motherfuckers landed. How the fuck y'all even came together?
I can sum it
That
up.
was the original question.
Yeah.
Such a loyal dude that once I became friends with his friends, instantly, and ever
All's
since then, like
forgotten.
any
I was
That was it.
Yeah.
Like there's just.
I mean, hey,
I don't hold grudges.
What's that movie where they snaps the fingers with the five ring?
Thanos.
Thanos. When Thanos.
Yeah.
Was it just like
Infinity
that?
Gauntlet. It was. As soon as they rode with me,
I
I,
trust-
didn't hate none of them.
I guess I trust people. People who are close to me. I mean it. Like if people are close to me, ride with people, then I'm with it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Like
Respect
I
that.
trust the character of people close to me. So when people close to me said, "Hey, he's a good dude," and it paid off. You're
Yeah.
one of my best friends, man.
100%.
Yep. So same.
But
And
speaking of this,
and that,
Punch each other in the face.
Hey,
Did we just become best
and,
friends?
yeah, no, and
Right.
I guess full circle. Your question was like, how did we get here? Right?
Yeah.
It's all that mayhem and like immaturity led to us being friends, and then he's close to Mikey, and then he hooked me up with Mikey, and then
Oh,
you and
shit.
Mikey are close, and now here we are, man.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This is a whole different event then.
Yeah.
Because I came late to this party.
Mm-hmm.
I just met you in the last year.
Yeah.
I met you.
we met a
few
bunch
years
of
ago.
times. Yeah.
But we knew who each other was. We knew each other. But what I'm saying is for once, Mikey didn't put it together, right?
I mean,
I thought seriously, I was because I thought all you guys grew up together. That's what my
No, I met
original
Derek.
thought was.
I don't know what year it was, but it was at Heather's house, which she had the pond, and you and Ash came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think was Hannah. Hannah had to have been there too, maybe.
Hannah was young. That's when
She was real young.
Remember when she peed in?
I remember that time. Yeah, that was a different time.
Oh
But
yeah. You're talking when she had like the campers and shit out there. Yeah.
Kind of
That was the
was
first time that I heard your
yes,
name
yes, yes.
like over and over again.
Yep.
Never met you, and then met you that day, and then it's
Yep.
rest is history on that.
But that, I mean, we weren't friends, and then we became
Yeah.
friends, and then that led to friends,
you
and
both-
then friends, and
Because like I was a little skeptical, honestly, like because some of Drewski's friends like I didn't fuck with because of like the rowdy shit. I'm like, I don't fuck with it. I really don't.
Absolutely.
So then like you mentioned your name a few times, I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
And
see.
then, and then we met, and I mean, you
Yep.
know, knew you were a good dude right away, and I don't even know how
Dude.
many years it's been.
It's probably been at least 7 now. Been about
Yeah,
7
something like that.
Yeah.
What was I just gonna say? Shit. So you two are similar in that way, though. Like, I don't bring around certain people around other people. Like, I have probably 13 friends. That's how many people I can remember's name. Like, I'm good with it. 13 people is great with me. But you two are, even TJ has this where you guys go around people and you make the like, I don't do this at all. You make the conversation about them, right? It's like it's just almost sales, I guess. Naturally, people like learn to like listen. Like, what is the saying? Like, you're listening to them, not just waiting for your turn to talk or something like that, right?
Well, yeah,
You both had that ability.
You're listening to respond. Some people do, and then you're listening to like understand. I think is like what other people do.
And I think
sometimes, yeah.
that's why when people talk to you guys, they're like, instantly think they're your best friend. Like, I've dealt with it forever. People telling me about their best friend Mikey. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. I know him a little bit. He's married to my sister.
But
not a big deal.
I don't think. I honestly think that we're just curious people.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
That I actually
I agree.
genuinely like. I
I
love
agree.
learning. Like,
Yep.
I'm a sponge. I love learning about people. I love like you. You guys know me good enough. You guys know if I'm just trying to be nice or if I'm really actually interested. You know what I mean? Like with people when you guys are out with me and shit. I think sometimes I can detect that from you, and you know what I mean. But no, I don't think it's just like a sales thing. I think it's just genuinely us. Like,
No, I know, but it is a good.
There's like if there's somebody that I talk to and I see him again, and I mention something that we talked about. Say they said, oh, you know, their daughter had a t-ball game, and I'm like, hey man, how'd your daughter end up doing that t-ball game, right? I would also like it, I feel good that they go, oh man, great, so how old are the twins now? Remembering that I had twins, and that's kind of how you measure your first interaction by your second interaction of
Agreed.
of what
I'm with
comes
you.
about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Me and you've definitely seen this before in life, where like somebody tries to play the big dog card. They know exactly who you are, but they go, "What was your name again?" I hate when people do the opposite, because there's people out there that do the opposite. They remember everything you said.
Yeah.
They try to act like they didn't, to try to be cool and shit
Yep.
like that.
See, I'm the other opposite,
it's-
where I literally have a Rolodex that has 15 people on it. That's why I remember. It is, and I will
mean,
try
but
my
that's
best
consistency,
to not
man.
mention that I don't know your name, like, because I'll forget it, and I'll be like, I'll turn into Mikey. I'll start calling girls Danzel or whatever the hell he said.
See, I think
Darwin?
I
Darwin.
got the Rolodex in my head.
It's crazy.
So with work and stuff, I'll do that on purpose. Like I have like almost like I like box stuff up, like
Compartmental.
We're
all.
yeah.
I can't even say it.
All right.
I box it up. Is what I do.
You
Yeah.
compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, who's this one?
So
now, bitch.
what I'll do
Still
is
didn't sound
That
right.
was tough.
it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's there, but we got it.
I box it up.
Damn it.
Is
now
what
you're
the hell I
talking-
do.
Box that
Yeah.
shit up.
Yeah.
Box that shit up.
Yeah. And I'll put it
This
in like
podcast is sponsored by 8 Mile.
yeah. But like when I'm at the office, man, I'm on my game, and I'm like
Oh,
my
100%.
mind's in a scent. I'm like vision, like tunnel vision. And then when I go home, shout out to Ashley. Like sometimes I shut that off, and it could be like, hey, I need to talk to you. You know, like, hey, this is hurting or this is going on. So I'll use all my energy at the office of listening to people like, hey, this is what's going on. So then when I get home, sometimes like I'm not there all the time for that. And she's like, she can sense it, you know? Like, I'm sure.
Dude,
like,
I'm glad you touched on that
like, I'm
because
sure,
I
like,
struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And I'm sure
struggle.
April knows that. Like, where there's times where you, like, I'm like, hey, I use all the energy there. Like, give me a minute and stuff. And you can probably speak on that a little bit.
Dude, it's rough. That's why I named my LLC Always On, because I feel like I always have to be on, right? And I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
for the most part. Like, I mean, I have bad days, don't get me wrong, but
Time to
most
fuck
of
out.
the time, like,
Always on,
yeah.
Love it.
bro. Yeah. Oh shit, my bad. I owe y'all $10.
Edit
Bro.
the pod. That's
No.
a reminder.
Yeah, no, man, no, for real, bro.
But, like, that's-
dope. That's dope. But that's the first time I'm hearing that. Is literally on the show right now. Always
Really?
on.
I like that.
And it's not that
That's
I'm like
dope.
playing a character, but it's just like always on, and people always expect to see that Mikey.
Yeah.
And it's not that I fake it because it's me.
Yeah.
But once I
But you're
get
not allowed
home,
to have off days.
right?
I'm saying to people's perspective, you Mikey's not. If you were
Right.
to walk in somewhere and you had just one off
And
day,
you don't want to talk to
people are gonna
somebody
talk
or something like
shit.
that?
You
Yes.
know that. You know
Yep.
that about you, right,
Yep.
Mikey?
For sure. And once I get home,
Yeah.
that's why I always say like April and Riot see the worst of me. Now I don't say it in the sense of like I get home and I'm just like yelling and
A
I'm
dickhead,
not that
but
guy.
yeah,
I'm not that
they
guy.
see
But
the exhausted version,
it's
right?
just I'm quiet and just taking a deep breath and like fuck, like you know what I mean, and just need some time to not talk to anybody, not to say anything,
Yep.
and just process everything that's going on.
Yep.
I will say that is nice. When we watch the fights, it's not like two like best friends got together and I watch the fight. It's so fucking quiet. It's like
That's okay though, right?
No, because I know all day
Yeah.
long the guy's got to be fucking like from outsider. I've seen it. Like I don't get mad if Mikey. If you go out somewhere, with Mikey, he's got to talk to. There's gonna be 1,000 people who want to talk to him. And he's also got to whenever somebody
Yep.
calls, he's got to take this call. He has to. He has to shoot emails off or like.
Yep.
So I never get like. I've seen people get like. He's gonna leave the table. It's like you have no idea.
People, yeah, people get mad about that, and like it. I'm not saying I'm in this super successful spot, but to get me where I'm at now, like I had to. Call came in, I had to take it because now they know I'm reliable, and I can.
Yep.
They call me, they're gonna get shit done. So like now I'm at a spot where people trust me enough to where if I don't get it right away, they know I'll get to it quick or as soon as I can.
Absolutely.
But for
build up to
a
that.
lot of years,
Yeah.
it was I'd get up at dinner, I'd get up on vacation, like
Saturday at fucking 11 o'clock.
we were at North Carolina, and I was like taking calls. We were on family vacation. I'm still, you know what I mean? Like it's just people don't see that. So whenever people tell me it must be nice or you're lucky, that's what bugs me. Because I'm like, you don't see any. You just
Yep.
You see the social
Sacrifice.
media and the fake. Like I'm not saying I'm fake, but like social media is just you see the fun stuff,
Right.
Pictures.
but you don't see the
The
2 in the
grind.
morning calls or you know what I mean, the late nights, early mornings. You don't
I
see
think
any
both
of
of you guys can talk about that. Like Drewski, I know I love you,
fucking
but
terrible.
I know you're not like in the family situation yet.
Also, I
Like
don't.
one day.
I don't do. If somebody calls me and I don't want to take a call,
Well, yeah, but like you're also
I've
not
had a
like
phone for 6
you
years
don't.
because
That's just part of your life right now.
I don't
though.
think-
You're in a spot where you don't have to take a phone call.
Yeah, you
But I
don't
know-
have the way to the
I
like,
get-
the family stuff yet.
I get so mentally exhausted even just talking to people. Like I could never do what you three do. Like I can't because I.
But I
get
mean, like
social awkwardness.
those two handle it like beautifully.
Oh,
like
you. But all three of you. What do
oh
you
yeah,
buzzing
no,
off?
no.
All
But
three of you,
yeah, I'm just saying
your
like
family life. You wouldn't even know. Like what TJ dealt with. Like what last
last week.
week
For the last fucking 6 fucking days.
after,
anymore.
and it started off literally here.
But it's
But
also
I was
like
trying to.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think what both of them are like iterating is like, dude, it takes a
support
strong
system.
woman.
Yeah.
It takes a strong ass woman.
It
Dude, I
definitely
think,
does.
like-
They have to understand. Here's the thing: like we're lucky. All three of us.
Oh hell yeah!
And I haven't even met Ashley yet, and I can't wait
She's
to meet her.
awesome.
But
Dude,
I've heard
the
enough
best.
about her, and I know April, and I know my woman.
Very
and-
similar,
And I
actually.
really think that like, if it only works if they're okay with what you do.
100%.
And I say that because we know, Mikey, you know this. We know when we're like, when we need to shut it the fuck down. Right? About anything. We just know. There's like this thing where you just know when enough's enough, and she doesn't have to say nothing. Like Sam doesn't have to say nothing. I'm sure you have them times with April where April doesn't have to say nothing. I'm sure Ashley. But to every one of those times, they
Ashley will say it, though.
other, but they'll also give you 9 other times where they know, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice this moment
Yep.
because I support my man, and I'm gonna allow him, because that's what it is. Let's keep it a buck. They're allowing us.
Oh, Ashley.
I'm gonna allow you to do what you need to do to be great.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Even the podcast for you guys. Like you guys got to leave for
Yeah.
sometimes. I mean, sometimes we're here 3 hours. You get to leave on a Tuesday or whatever day we film. Usually Tuesdays. You leave. Even you twice in 1 week for you even, where you get to leave for 2 or 3 hours.
Ashley
go-
moved down to Georgia.
Yeah,
I mean, she
seriously
uppered
tripping.
everything, man.
April.
That I mean, that's crazy.
She-
Not
hey.
crazy, like you know what I mean. That's
Yeah, she
that
quit her
she
job.
Did that.
She quit her job.
She's also
and
very
moved down
family
there.
oriented, actually, too.
Yeah.
So, like, for her, that was tough, probably. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yep. I mean, she just did it. She knew.
But then, also though, on the other side, not just the great, beautiful, strong women behind us, but also like when you're out with the homies, right? Like, I think sometimes I struggle with this, and Mikey, you can touch on this. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you feel this way. Maybe you don't. But sometimes when I'm out and about, like I feel like if I just, and I'm not even having a bad day, but sometimes I just want to fucking take everything in. I want to be in the moment. I don't want to talk. I don't want to have the pictures. None of that shit. I just honestly want to enjoy my beer, my company, and just take everything
Yep.
that everybody's saying and
Living in the
doing
moment a
in.
little bit, yeah.
And sometimes that comes off as like you were saying, always on. They like, oh, you're off, and we can't afford to have those off days because the one day that we just want to take everything in, everything's fine.
Yep.
But people take it as if something's wrong, and it's like, damn, man, can I just have that moment where I'm not the guy shucking and jiving, fucking tap dancing? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean that's for lack of better terms, but sometimes I feel like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tap dancing, I'm entertaining when sometimes I just want to chill.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
why when me and April want to spend some time together, like we have been going outside of Monroe, not just because like I can't go out and not run into somebody, and not that anybody's ever bugging me, but it's just like I want time with just her.
Yeah.
And I don't want to even have to say hello to somebody, and I know it sounds shitty, but
No,
I
it's not.
just want to be
It's for them.
like
No,
a
it's
stranger.
boundaries.
You know
For
what I
your
mean?
woman.
Well, also
Like,
for
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but when Mikey says hello to somebody, they could just mention something and it will pique his interest, and he will. What turns into a hello from Mikey turns
But that's
into
good.
a 30-minute conversation about
you guys talked
something
about
wild,
that,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
guys talked about that on a podcast, and that's good. I feel like that's both you guys.
You don't think you're like that too?
I am for sure.
I was gonna
yeah,
say,
but yeah,
I've been in your waiting room.
but
It's like you there's a whole vibe here.
Like yeah, there's no like I'm gonna shut the conversation down, but also you guys both recognize like when there's family time, right? Or when there's hey, I'm gonna date my wife. You know, like you can't stop dating your wife. Like
Dude, the people that
Yeah.
do that's the people that are in trouble. Relationships, I feel
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still chase April like you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
I'm
Well,
still,
hey.
I'm married to her, but I still chase her like I'm trying to,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
yeah, so you
have to.
got to go out and date her. You got to go outside of the city and stuff like that. That's perfect, man.
And I told
Stop
her, and
looking at me,
luckily
dude. I don't know
she's
none about this
never,
relationship shit, dude.
she's never like
I got a dog.
put me in that. She's always like, she honestly, she believed in me before I believed in myself. Like I didn't know
Same. Yep.
what I was doing. I knew what I was good at, but I didn't know how to turn it into making money. I finally figured it out, but she's always like, you're gonna be great. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I always told her, I'm like, listen, if any of the chaos that I'm doing ever gets in the way of us, I'll go back and I'll be a 9-to-5 guy.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you and Wright mean everything. No, like nothing else means shit to me. Like
Yep.
nothing else at all. But
It is
she's
dope.
like, it's never like, trust me. I mean, we have stress, but she's like, no, you're doing what you need to do.
Yep. Hell yeah.
I do like that April will always, like, whenever you like had a career change or whatever, like you stop and you're like, I know I'm gonna do this. Like she's always like
Same
well,
thing
as
with
long as
you,
I'm
Derek.
working, yeah.
Like I took a pay cut to start. Like when I got my foot
Yeah.
in the entertainment business,
Yep.
music business, I took a pay cut. I walked away from insurance and all that shit. Took a pay cut.
Same.
And she believed in me, and
You
she's
know what?
like,
Yep.
"This is just the start of what you're gonna do.
And
like
that-
we'll be
dude,
okay."
Ashley's been my sugar mama.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
she
some
makes
G's.
more than I do.
Hey, talk about
Hey,
it. Talk,
hey,
me too.
I'm not ashamed of it, baby.
We're lucky. We're lucky. We're
Well,
lucky.
Here's another thing too that I don't think we've really talked about this in the pod before, but I was actually moving to Georgia with you.
See?
I moved so
That's
when
a
me
risk,
and Sam was
man.
together, we ended up moving to Arizona because that's where her family was at.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse. She was already RN at the time.
Yeah.
When I met her, so she can go anywhere in the country and
Yep.
work. You know what I mean?
Travels.
And I was like, you know what? And I had a good job. I was a union rep and shit. So I had the most stable shit you could have. Like I wasn't rich, but I had the most. When you're a union rep, you're fucking as stable as it can be,
Yeah.
right? Like the auto workers are never going anywhere, and you
Yeah.
represent them, so you're good. Well, I left all that to start. When I said start over, Like I literally walked into a place where nobody knew me. I just had a reference from one of my union brothers that just so happened to have a cousin out in Arizona. And I walked in and they were like, listen, we don't know you. And we don't give a like they didn't say this, but they were basically saying, we don't give a fuck about what you did in Michigan.
Yeah.
You need to prove it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I proved it, and I worked up, and then we moved back, and so I started all over again.
Yep.
And actually, I ended up finding a really good. We're really good, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that this whole time, like
taking the leap and stuff.
it was like I think that really fucking did something for our long term relationship. Was okay. I jumped
Yep.
off the porch for you. So now when it's my time to jump off the porch, because here's the thing though too, I did a lot of shit before I met her. So I got a lot of shit out of my system. I tried and failed a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My rap career wasn't the greatest. You know what I mean? I made some money doing promotions, marketing, sales, shit like that. Like I did some other shit that I'm not proud of, but it, you know what I mean? It
learning
was good and then it
experiences.
failed and
Yeah.
then you, right? So it was like all the dumb shit I got out the way. So
Yep.
by the time she gave me the opportunity to be like, okay, you did this for me, I'm gonna do this for you. It was like, okay, we're in this to get, like we both understood it.
yeah.
We both, because it wasn't just a one-sided thing. We both.
Real
You get what I'm
quick, shout
saying?
out to your guys'
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. All three.
Oh,
of them.
absolutely.
Damn, this might be the first time we did.
I
some
think
shit
it
like
is.
that.
I think it is.
Damn, Derek.
Shout out to Roxy.
Dr. Dita came
And
in
Ride
here.
Dog.
Just
And
fucking
Baby.
Dr. Brutus.
And the babies.
Charlotte will tell you the
TJ.
same. All of
And
them.
I really want to. I want to switch it up for a quick second. Let's take a quick break.
And I gotta tell a quick story when we get back.
Okay.
I want to take this quick break, and I want to because Derek's got some real cool stuff to talk about with some new business ventures that he's got coming up. Plus, we want to play a game. So let's take a quick break. We'll come right back.